Hello and welcome to another Ask Us Anything Live with me, Kate R. for Intrepid English. Every Friday I go live and I talk about a grammar, pronunciation or vocabulary point to help you improve your English. Now this month, just like last month, we are helping you in preparing for your next interview. So we are focusing on interviews and what skills you need to succeed in interviews in English. Now, if you've ever been in an job interview and felt unsure how to organize your answers clearly, you are not alone. Many English learners, even native speakers for that matter, struggle with giving structured, confident answers. Because let's be honest, interviews are normally stressful situations. So, my big top tip for today is use the STAR method. STAR is a simple framework to help you tell your story with a bigger impact. So I'll also give you some grammar and phrasing tips that you need to make your answers sound professional in English. This is super important. And in fact, it's something that I worked on with a student of mine over the summer on giving answers using the STAR method. And it's what helped him finally get his dream job, what he has been aiming for all his career. So as I mentioned, last month and this month, we are focusing on job interviews. There are lots of articles, lots of videos that we've already done on the STAR method. But just to remind you and to make sure that the STAR method is really clear for you, the STAR stands for situation, task, action, result. It is a step-by-step way to structure your answers so you sound clear, confident and focused. So what do I mean by situation? So this is where you set the scene for your story. You explain the background briefly. Useful phrasing for this can be, when I was working at XYZ company, we faced a challenge with, so you notice how I use the past continuous tense here. I was working. It gives the context and it sets the stage. The next letter is T for task. So here, you describe what your responsibility was. So for example, I was responsible for leading the team through this task. Or my role was to ensure that everything went smoothly. So here, we don't use the past continuous, we use the past simple because it works well to show the facts. So I was responsible, I had to, I needed to. The next letter is A, so action. So now comes the most important part of the method of your answer, what you actually did. So you set the context with situation. You've given your role, what your responsibility was, the task, and then you explain what you actually did. So for example, I coordinated with the 3 different departments to develop a solution, or I decided to redesign the workflow in order to save time and money. So notice how I use action verbs, coordinated, developed, designed. These are stronger than simply saying it worked or I did. So next letter is R for result. So this is very important. And I think some people forget this final step, which is why it's so useful to have the STAR, STAR, in your mind, because you need to now say what changed because of your actions. So it's such an important step. So for example, you can say, as a result, we delivered the project 2 weeks early, or this led to a 20% increase in customer satisfaction. So the linking phrases are useful here when you are doing the result part. As a result, this led to. It makes your answers sound more polished and professional. So let's take my example, the little examples I gave in each of for the situation, task, action, result. Let's put it all in one answer for you so you can see the difference. So when I was working at XYZ company, we faced delays in our project for ABC company. My role was to create a new schedule. I coordinated across the 3 different departments and redesigned the workflow. As a result, we delivered the project 2 weeks early. That is the STAR method in action. It's really useful. It keeps your answer clear, concise, to the point, which is what the interviewer wants to hear. The interviewer does not want to hear you babbling and talking about everything and desperately trying to follow your story. They want short, concise stories of your experience. So the key to using the STAR method is practice. This is what I did with my student over and over again. Every question we worked on, he was always using the STAR method. So we wrote down common interview questions, and then he practiced structuring his answers with STAR, paying attention to the grammar. So using the past continuous for the situation, using the past simple when talking about the task and the action, and then using linking phrases for the final result to make sure that it's nice and seamless. And of course, the more you practice out loud, the more confident and natural you sound. So at Intrepid English, of course, we help ambitious professionals like yourself to prepare for interviews in English. Now, we do this through personalized lessons, grammar feedback, and lots of speaking practice with a native speaker teacher like myself. Now, I have helped thousands of students through the interview process and helped countless students get their dream jobs, like the student that I've just helped this summer. So that is all the personalized help with an actual native speaker. So practicing the answers using the STAR method. But you can also, in your own time, be working on our job interview course in our academy, which has not job interview, but countless other courses like presentation, meetings, all the different tenses in English, pronunciation. There's so much in our academy. You have access to all these courses when you become a member with us. So to find out more about becoming a member, you can click the link below for a £1 trial lesson with me, and we can discuss your needs in English and see what membership would help you and how I, or one of the other English teachers, could help you secure the job you've always been wanting your entire career. Finally, though, of course, I really want you to remember the words you choose and the way you structure your answers can make all the difference in your next interview. So with the STAR method and a little practice, you will shine. So I hope that's helped, and I hope you'll look at the other articles and videos we've done on the STAR method so that you can really excel in your next interview. And if I don't see you for a trial lesson, I hope to see you in my next Ask Us Anything next week, when I'll be giving you 10 powerful phrasal verbs to use in your vocabulary bank for your next interview. In the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and see you next week.